What's up, you guys? My name is Anam Khan. In this video, I want to go over 5 things I wish I knew before I studied in the aerospace engineering field. So quick background on myself: I studied mechanical engineering at the University of Connecticut, and I focused in aerospace. And from there, I worked in the aerospace industry, working at some big names for the last 9 years. And over the years, there are a few things that I picked up that I wish I knew prior to joining this field, and I hope these tips help out people that are looking into this right now. So before I start, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. And so let's get started. So first thing I wish I knew is that college in general, in certain aspects, college is far more difficult and technically challenging than the actual industry, especially if you join some of the bigger companies. The problems, the technical challenges that you face in college are far more intense than at work, because a lot of times you have tools that do a lot of the analysis and calculations for you in the industry. So, and actually, I'll even go as far as to say that it's true. About 10% of what you learn in college is actually used when you're working. So just wanted to put that out there. So school is a lot tougher in certain aspects than the actual industry. And a lot of times you're not starting and building a design from scratch. You're actually working on updating or improving designs that have been worked on for the past few years by many people. Many times it's a simple change or a simple update that just requires you to go through a lot of documentation and a lot of gates to make sure it's safe. That's probably the case most of the times. There are certain cases where it is very technically challenging and try to figure out issues, but keep in mind that a lot of the problems at that level are done by engineers with a lot more experience, like the chief engineers and stuff like that. Engineers that start out generally don't go through challenges like that. Something else that I wish I knew is that the leadership programs that a lot of companies advertise to fresh graduates actually work. They're actually very good investments. So personally, myself, because I had a lower GPA, I did do some job hopping just to catch up on salaries and get to the level that most people with a higher GPA were at. But if you had a high GPA and you made it into some of these leadership programs that a lot of companies have, they're manufacturing leadership programs, program leadership programs. There's many out there. I'm sure you've heard of some of them. And if you get into them, it might not seem like it's ideal in the first few years, but by the time you're done with the program and you get placed in a higher position than many other folks that graduated at the same time as you, that's when it starts to make sense. So if you get into a leadership program, I highly recommend that you stay in it and finish it. So something else that I wish I knew is, again, related to GPA. Your GPA doesn't really matter after your first job. It's just getting your first internship or getting your first job that's the hardest. After that, no one really cares. I barely, after my first job, I don't think I've ever been asked my GPA, which is pretty insane when you think about it. When you're a student, that's all you think about. And another thing that I had noticed in my years in aerospace is that you'll come across a lot of people that are very intelligent and smart. But what I've noticed is that the people that do exceptionally well in their careers are folks that are great communicators. Excuse me. As you guys probably know, engineers in general aren't the best communicators. So if you can add that skill to your tool set, you'll be in a great position to do well in your career. So great communicators generally do very well in engineering. Something else that I wish I knew when I was a student is that contract positions can be very helpful for you. So if you were in a situation similar to mine, where you had a lower GPA and all of these companies are requiring a 3.0 and you're definitely under that, what I would recommend is that you look into contract engineering positions. Contract engineering positions many times pay a higher salary than many other positions, and they're a lot less stringent and a lot less strict on the requirements. So they won't ask you for your GPA. They won't ask you a lot of these questions. And generally, you get hired a lot quicker too. So from interview to starting, I've seen it take 3 weeks sometimes, which many full-time positions are not like that at all. And finally, last but not least, one thing I just wanted to mention that I did not know about the field is that the field is actually a pretty small field. It's a very small niche field. Over the years, I've changed around companies so many times, and I've seen people from other companies hop around too. And I'm like, hey, that person, I've seen them before in a different company. Well, now they're here, and it's very common. You'll see that in the industry because there aren't that many aerospace companies out there, right? There's a few big ones, and it seems like they're just merging and getting bigger and less, right? So hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more of these. If you guys have questions, I'll do videos on those too. Yeah, comment below. See you guys in the next one. Peace.